we're going to get some more on that meeting between Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin, which of course is going to take place in Alaska tomorrow morning, our time. Joining us from Canberra is Ukraine's ambassador to Australia, Vasyl Myroshnychenko. Ambassador, welcome back to News Breakfast.
Good morning.
So what sort of hopes do you have for this meeting, given that the future of Ukraine is being discussed, but Ukraine's president isn't at the table?
We rely on President Trump's leadership in achieving this peace, and we have to follow the outcomes of the most recent meeting of the Coalition of the Willing. Australia is part of that coalition. And I think there were 5 important items which have been reached in that. Well, firstly, that nothing could be discussed about the future of Ukraine without Ukraine at the table. We must achieve a ceasefire before we continue in the negotiations. Russia should not have any leverage over our future in terms of our foreign policy, be it NATO or the EU. And also we must work together on isolating Russia and putting more pressure on Russia. And I think these are very important 5 principles that we are now discussing. Let's see how this meeting goes. I mean, there's a lot of commentary about that. It's certainly the first time in 18 years that Russian president was invited to come to American soil.
Can I just ask, can there be a deal where Ukraine has to give up territory? And even though Australia is a long way away from this conflict, does that have implications? Would that sort of outcome have implications for Australian security as well?
It has a direct, immediate impact on the future security of Australia. You have to understand, if we go just back to basics, Russia is a nuclear power. Russia is a permanent member of the UN Security Council. Russia starts the largest war in Europe since the Second World War. It has over 1 million people killed or wounded in Russia only, many in Ukraine as well, destroying the country on a mission to occupy entire territory of Ukraine. They failed miserably. They occupied 20% of that territory. Now they could be rewarded for their act of aggression. So what kind of world are we now creating? The rules-based international system is dismantled. Any country which has nuclear weapons can change borders by force. And that's what others will follow. And that could be a blueprint for any other authoritarian country, for any other country which has nuclear weapons. And I think it has an immediate impact on the security in the Indo-Pacific.
Analysts say that Vladimir Putin has basically been stalling for time by dragging out these ceasefire talks. Donald Trump, in response to this sort of criticism, has said there'll be very severe consequences if Russia doesn't agree to a ceasefire. What would you like the US to actually do if these talks don't amount to much?
I think it's pretty clear. It's severe sanctions on Russia, getting Russian banking system out of SWIFT, imposing sanctions on anybody who's buying Russian oil, basically suffocating their economy, providing more military assistance to Ukraine, including air defense, but also long-range capabilities. And I think it should be pretty clear of what's going to happen to Russia. Further isolation, strengths, because Russia understands strengths. And, the way Putin is going to play it. He's going to use deception. He's going to use distraction. You have to be reminded he is a KGB operative who is very good at psychological profiling. So definitely he will try to use a meeting to his benefit, using all possible means that he's got in his arsenal.
Just finally, Ambassador, before I let you go, you're looking very fit. I've been seeing you at all sorts of running races around the country. You're trying to raise money. What are you trying to raise money for, and how much have you raised?
Well, I've raised $15,000 for medical devices. These are medical devices which are attached to a bone when surgeries have been made. I still need to raise up to $44,000. The fundraising campaign is still open. You can donate. It's on Grassroots website. You can find it on my social media. I ran the City to Serve. It was a 14-kilometer run, kind of quick, but it turned out to be more difficult than I expected. So I would be very grateful for any donations that may come in.
Oh, you're doing well, and appreciate all the efforts you're going to raise money for people in your homeland as well. Ambassador Vasyl Myroshnychenko, thanks for speaking to us this morning.
Thank you.